guys and welcome to Malaga. This is the largest seaside town in Andalusia and one of the oldest towns in Europe and also the birthplace of Picasso. First impressions, even if it's smaller than Sevilla, which we've been to, it gives off big city energy. It has so many stores, so many terraces and a lot of tourists.
So Malaga is about 2,800 years old. That means that it's older than Rome even.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and right here behind us you can see the old Roman amphitheater. This was built in the 1st century BC during the Emperor Augustus. And interestingly enough, it was actually covered up until 1951. It was built over by all the other civilizations. It was only uncovered very recently. And as you can see, there's the amphitheater here. And right at the top, there is a Moorish citadel, Alcazaba, which is probably the main landmark in Malaga. We will be going up there tomorrow, so we'll probably walk by again. But yeah, this is actually quite an interesting thing here, the fact that you have a 2,100-year-old amphitheater and a roughly 1,000-year-old citadel up there at the top, right in the center of the town.
Yeah, so we arrived a bit late in Malaga today and we'll explore for a bit today. We'll have dinner and then tomorrow we'll have a full day in Malaga. So 36 hours total in Malaga and I'm excited to go to the beach as well tomorrow.
Okay, we made it to the Grand Cathedral of Malaga. This is La Manquita, as it's known. That genuinely means the lady with one arm. And the name comes from the simple fact that, as you can see, it only has one tower. So the building started somewhere in the 1500s and it took, I think, about 250 years to complete. And by complete, I mean to this point where it is right now. When they were about to finish building the second tower, they ended up donating all that money to the American colonies in their fight against Britain, which is kind of a paradox seeing how many Brits are now in Malaga at this point. They helped Americans against the Brits, but yeah. Anyway, it's a very beautiful cathedral, as you can see. Quite an impressive Baroque facade. I really like it. It's late in the evening, so it's obviously closed right now. We'll see if we have the time tomorrow to visit or not. But even if you don't have the time to visit the interior, just hanging out in this plaza outside. Loads of terraces everywhere. I mean, this is a general thing around Malaga. Loads of outdoor seating for terraces, bars, restaurants. So no shortage of that. And we didn't even get to the beach yet. So yeah.
We stopped by El Pimpi. This is an institution here in Malaga. It was opened in the 70s and it's co-owned by Antonio Banderas. Gracias. And we stopped for some drinks and some bites.
Very beautifully located. We are literally right next to the Roman theater and the Alcazaba. And we got some chicken with potatoes and we got a Malaga salad. Malaga salad technically should be orange with salted cod and some other stuff. But right now it's really hard to tell because it has this mayonnaise looking thing on top.
It doesn't look like a salad.
It looks
I don't see any green on it.
Honestly, if it didn't have the chives, it could be dessert. Okay, so let's see this non-salad. Is it cake? How is this a salad?
It's like mashed potatoes.
Well, it has cod in here. I was expecting a bit more orange, but it has the one bit. All right, well, I guess it is what it is. Okay, so this is basically Russian salad, but with cod. It has potatoes. It's Russian salad.
This is Russian salad.
But with cod.
But it's good.
Good morning. It's our second day here in Malaga, and we are now just getting to the Alcazaba, the Moorish fortress. This is the plan for today. We're going to start here and then work our way up to a different viewpoint. Later on, we'll be going to a food market. That's exciting.
Yes, I'm hungry.
And then we'll finish the day with a walk through some other neighborhoods and going to the beach. And then with something really cool at the end of the day. So we're just arriving at the Alcazaba, but it seems like there's a big line of people. So let's see what that is all about.
We are now at the Alcazaba. This is an old Moorish fortress dating 1,000 years approximately. And we bought tickets for this spot and then another castle a bit higher up. The tickets were €20.
Together?
Together, yeah. So, well, no comment on that, I don't know.
It's not that expensive.
No. And yeah, a lot of people here already. We had to queue up for a bit, but it went kind of quickly.
All right, there's a viewpoint here too, so let's go have a look. We left Alcazaba. We're on our way to Castillo de Gibralfaro up the hill. This was one of the most affordable fortresses that we visited so far in Andalusia. It was only €7, €10 for both. But it was also probably the least memorable, if I'm honest. So if you are coming to Andalusia, you're doing a whole tour, I would probably say this is the one to skip. It's pretty, it's very old, and it is impressive, but it's less glitzy and large than the ones in Sevilla or Cordoba, obviously. So pick and choose your battles. You don't ever want to skip the one in Granada, where we're going next, but if ever you feel like taking a day off, doing something else, this might be the one to skip. So we've been walking on the defensive walls of the Castillo de Gibralfaro for about 15-20 minutes now. Laura has been doing the rounds and I think we're safe.
Yes, no enemies in sight.
That's good. So this was built uphill from the Alcazaba, from the previous fortress we were in. Later, this was built in the 1400s to defend the Alcazaba. And it was one of the last strongholds of the Muslim world in Spain before it fell at the end of the 15th century. And right now it's sort of like an open air museum so far. I'm not sure if there's anything indoors, maybe there is, but we've been just walking on the walls.
It's also
getting a bit of a 360 view of
basically a
Malaga.
I have to say the heat in Malaga is a bit more intense. I feel that the humidity is higher than in the rest of the Andalusia and the central part. So even if the temperature is the same as it was in the past days when we were in central Andalusia, I feel like you can feel the heat more intensely here.
And it's definitely a more sweaty situation.
It's a sticky situation.
It's a very sticky situation.
And also during evenings, it's a bit warmer. There's not such a difference of temperatures in between day and night.
So before the 2000s, Malaga wasn't really necessarily a destination in its own. People would just land here, go around Andalusia, Costa del Sol. But right now, there's quite a few things to do aside from all the historical landmarks and so on. There's, I think, about 40 museums or something like that. And one of them is right there. It's this very colorful cube. It's the Centre Pompidou. There's only one other except for the one in Paris, or at least this was the first one. Loads of Picassos and other stuff in there. Being the birthplace of Picasso, there's a museum for his birthplace, and there's one with all of his work. So aside from this, there's many others, but yeah, you don't have to always do the outdoorsy stuff. If the weather's not great, you can always do something else. We are in Mercado de Atarazanas. This is an old shipyard from back in the 14th century, I think. It was converted into a food market now. Only the glass-stained entrance door is from the Moorish era. Very, very beautiful. But the inside was redone in the 19th century, and it's all with like glass and iron and very industrial looking. Loads and loads of options. It is really large. We got some skewers with tuna, with prawns, and we got some squid as well. And we got some traditional berenjenas, which are eggplants with honey. And life is good.
So we didn't manage to film a lot because we were very hungry and we dwelled in like animals. And yeah, the food is almost gone now. But the tuna steak was absolutely incredible.
I haven't tried that.
No, because I ate it all.
Right. The prawns were amazing. The squid is so good.
And
even the eggplant.
Yes, eggplant. It's like
The eggplant
French fries. Yeah.
The eggplant fries.
Yeah. But I do feel like this part of Spain really uses garlic in their dishes a lot. And I haven't had garlic in a while, but I kind of appreciate it now.
Very good. The food's very good.
Yes. It's a bit quieter now, so we found some space outdoors. And we got 2 empanadas, one with spicy chicken and one with goat cheese and onion. I love empanadas. I love the dough of the empanada especially. Good. Very oniony. Garlic and onion. Perfect, perfect breakfast.
It hasn't happened in a long time, but the heat got the best of us. So we ended up hiding on a rooftop of a hotel. There were two options we had. We chose the least glamorous one, I think. We went to, I think it was maybe like 5th floor rooftop, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't that high up.
It was quite high, but not as high as that would have been. That was our alternative.
We chose the closest option.
It was good enough. I mean, for rooftop drinks in Malaga, a glass of wine and a beer for 10 euros, not bad.
It was so relaxing.
Right now we're gonna walk a bit through the main old town. We have a few tasks. One, we gotta find a Sephora for Laura. We got to find a shop that sells sweets, some specific sweets, but that only opens in about an hour. And the third one is I want to find a tapas bar that sells one specific dish to Malaga, which I'm not sure we're gonna find anywhere else later tonight, so we gotta get this done now. Okay, we are getting to that point in time where we get exhausted while walking.
Well, we've been looking for your special type of food for 2 hours now. Luckily, I got something from Sephora, but in the meantime.
I've been looking for this dish called gazpachuelo. That is essentially a variation of the gazpacho, but it's made with fish and with sort of like an emulsion of egg with olive oil. It's like a mayonnaise.
Oh, look at this.
But it turns out it's quite a wintry dish.
Yeah, well, I can imagine.
Yeah, no one really has it right now.
In the dead of summer.
We've been to eight restaurants to ask about it. They don't have it. And the one that definitely would have had it is closed on a Monday. And guess what day it is today?
We also wanted to have the best churros in town, and it's closed soon because it's a Monday. So yes.
Well, the best churros in town is supposedly open on Google Maps, just not in reality.
Yes.
Alas, here we are. We are walking through Parque de Málaga. This is a really, really long promenade with a beautiful botanic garden in the middle. Mm-hmm. It's apparently one of the most important tropical botanic gardens in Europe.
A lot of palm trees and parrots. It's really, really nice.
And supposedly there's about 100 tropical and subtropical plants in here, different species. And loads of parakeets.
Loads.
I feel like I'm in London.
We are on La Malagueta beach. We stopped at a chiringuito, which is a traditional Spanish, basically restaurant by the beach. And we ordered some food and some drinks, and I'm kind of hungry. So we got the paella with chicken, and we got some traditional sardines on skewers.
I think they're called espetas, and they usually grill them on the beach over the flame, but we haven't seen that yet. Maybe we'll run into it
a bit more
later.
upscale, maybe. But this place is really nice, and we got one of the best tables here.
These chiringuitos that are on the beach, they don't really have huge ratings.
They're a bit more expensive, I would say.
They're obviously touristy.
Yeah.
100%, but it's one of those things you do, once or twice. It's a very calm, tame vibe. I love the fact that they don't have music going.
So far, we think that Malaga resembles Cannes a bit, especially this area.
Yeah.
And I can see why people come here. It caters a lot to tourists, I feel like.
Yeah.
And people are very relaxed here, and the surface is also really, really nice all throughout. Okay, so we're basically meant to remove the spine, bones, and head of the fish. So we got our paella, just a small portion, as you can see. This will,
Is that just yours or is it ours?
I think it's, there's another one coming.
So there's a bigger one coming for you.
Yeah. It's supposed to be crispy on the bottom. Is it? Oh, really? I'm sure it's gotta be delicious. Looks very juicy.
You know, as we said, this is a touristy place. If we don't get the best food of our lives, I wouldn't be surprised. But equally, we're here mainly for the setting.
But this bit is crispy, as you can see.
I'll
So
help you
this
with
bit,
that if you
yeah, this is crispy. And I mean, the service is really
Yeah.
good here. Mm. It's hot. It's so good. Mm. Very good.
You happy?
Mm-hmm.
We made it to the harbor here in Malaga. So what we did is we booked a sunset cruise that departs from here, goes all around, shows us the whole view of the city, all the way to the other end of the Malagueta beach where we're just now. It's actually quite a long one for a city cruise. 90 minutes, I feel like that's a really long one. We'll see if that's actually the case. So this one's a sunset cruise with a glass of cava, which is like,
There's
Prosecco.
sparkling wine, yeah.
The Prosecco of Spain.
Yeah.
And we'll actually get some really good views because I think the boat that we'll be on has a second story as opposed to this one right here. We are just arriving back on the shore. It was long and sweet. It actually took a long time.
Yeah, I saw a glimpse of a dolphin. Just a glimpse.
I don't know if I believe that, but
No, I promise. I saw a glimpse first time.
promise.
And we had a marriage proposal too on the boat as
successful.
well. Yes, successful. Yes, she said
I mean,
yes. She said yes.
successful as in like she said yes,
Yes,
but
yes,
we
yes.
don't know how successful it will be later on.
Don't be a cynic. But yeah, highly recommend. Make sure you get here on time, like half an hour early.
Half an
pick
hour
you up
early,
if you
yes.
want the best spots. The best spots are upstairs and on the net, but on the net you have to pay extra. Make sure you bundle up because it gets a bit nippy
Yeah,
in the
especially
afternoon. Yes.
Especially after sunset,
Yes.
it does get a bit. But the sunset itself was very, very beautiful.
Yes, and if you want to see the best part of the sunset, sit where we sat.
Which is right at the front, at the top.
Yes.
So that was it for our vlog here in Malaga. Hope you guys enjoyed watching us trying to discover as much as we could in the city in just a day and a half.
Tomorrow we'll be doing a day trip. We'll be going to the seaside and to one of the most beautiful towns in Spain. So really excited for that.
Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along with our trip here in Andalusia, and we'll definitely see you in our next video.